I deliberately crashed my truck loaded with deadly blue-ringed octopuses, watching the villagers swarm to loot the cargo. I knew my revenge plan had worked. 10 years ago, my father was driving his truck. When his tires were punctured by nails, the crash killed him. His entire cargo of lambs was stolen by nearby villagers. It wasn't an accident. The villagers planted those nails deliberately. Their goal was to flip the truck, so they could steal the cargo. My mom tried to sue them, but the villagers denied everything. The police couldn't do anything. The case was dropped. 10 years passed. Time flew by. I was driving a truck, passing through that same village again. But this time my cargo looked like ordinary octopuses, but they were actually lethal blue-ringed octopuses. I deliberately parked a few miles from the village. An old man approached excitedly. "Hey kid, where are you taking all this stuff?" "To the capital. Delivering octopus sashimi to high-end restaurants." The old man smiled immediately. I recognized him. I saw him when I collected my father's body 10 years ago. He was the one who flagged down my dad, deliberately luring him into the village. That's why my father died. He stared at the octopuses in my truck, getting more excited. "The highway ahead is closed. I'll show you the country road. It's a shortcut. I live in the village up ahead. Give me a ride." Another victim walking right into the trap. He knew this routine by heart. He'd been pulling this scam for 20 years. Because of him, countless drivers lost everything. But he didn't know. I was prepared this time. Before coming, I coordinated with other victims' families. I even arranged another truck. Once I entered the village, it would follow with a load of alcohol. The old man climbed into my truck easily. He secretly texted someone, alerting his accomplices to prepare. "Kid, what kind of octopus is this? They have blue rings on them. I've never seen these before." "So these are imported premium octopuses, exclusively for high-end restaurants in the capital. Regular folks like us can't afford them. These must taste incredible. No wonder city people look so healthy. Can't believe they eat these raw." The old man's mind raced with thoughts of how to fence the stolen goods. He couldn't hide his excitement, but he completely missed the spray-painted words on my truck. "Warning, hazardous material. Do not consume." The truck soon entered the village. Suddenly, the old man clutched his stomach and groaned. "My stomach hurts. Let me out, I need to use the bathroom. I'll walk back myself." The old man had already set the trap in the village. Now he wanted out. He was afraid of getting hurt when the truck flipped. But I wasn't letting him off that easy. "We're almost at the village center. I'll let you out there." I sped up. The old man panicked. "If I crap in your truck, it'll stink so bad. No one will clean it for you." "Don't worry, I've seen it all driving trucks. There's a portable toilet under your seat. I use it all the time." "Stop the truck. You already passed it. My house is back there. Let me out." The old man grew frantic. He grabbed a hammer and started smashing the window. Even with all his strength, he couldn't crack the glass. "Why won't this glass break? It's custom bulletproof glass. Just bought it. Stop breaking it. I'll let you out when we get to the village. Please, stop the truck and let me out. I'm only 89. I don't want to die." "Why would I stop?" "Don't worry, sir. I'm a great driver. I had people sabotage the road up ahead. When we flip over, we're both dead." "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Suddenly the truck hit a dirt mound the villagers built. The front wheel lifted and hit the prepared nails. Instantly, the truck started tilting left out of control. No matter how I turned the wheel or hit the brakes, it was useless. We crashed straight into a store. I felt like all my organs were knocked out of place. Luckily I wore a crash vest. Otherwise that impact would have killed me. I looked over. The old man in the passenger seat slammed into the windshield from the impact. He was covered in injuries. The old man held his phone, but didn't dare call the police. He needed to delete the messages he sent to his accomplices, but the concussion left him dizzy. He couldn't see the delete button. "Are you okay? Should I take you to the hospital?" I knocked the phone out of his hand. "This evidence. I'm not letting you destroy it." Suddenly, I heard rapid footsteps. Villagers carrying baskets started grabbing the octopuses crawling on the ground. Seeing this, I immediately shouted at them, "Please save us. Help us call the police." At this moment an aunt suddenly interrupted me. "Why should we help you call the police?" My husband already said. "This octopus is what rich people eat. Especially delicious. This time I must take it home and taste it properly. And please help call the police. Please save us. We old women do not know how to use phones." "Crawl out yourself." "Great. We finally get to eat something rich people eat. We struck it rich this time. Sell it at a higher price to city folks and make another big profit." These people did not care at all about our lives. Pinned under the truck was not just me, but also her husband. More and more villagers gathered toward us, everyone holding sacks. In minutes they looted an entire truck of octopus. "Stop grabbing them. I am begging you. These octopuses are highly toxic. Improper handling can kill people. This is what we deserve." I already heard Uncle Son talk about how good it is. "I have never eaten sashimi before. You absolutely cannot eat it. This is not ordinary octopus. If handled wrong, something will really happen." As soon as I finished speaking, another large truck drove into the village entrance. It also ran over the nails at the entrance and overturned, spilling liquor all over the ground. When the villagers saw this, they immediately rushed forward again with baskets. I thought to myself, finally here. I quickly crawled out of the truck, rushed in front of everyone and shouted in panic, "Do not eat it. This is blue-ringed octopus and it is highly toxic. Give it back to me now. I think you are just afraid we will eat it, and want compensation. Hearing that, I immediately stepped forward to grab the octopus from the basket, but he shoved me to the ground. Who says this octopus is poisonous? This octopus looks amazing. No wonder city people love eating it. Uncle, you absolutely must not eat it. And do not drink alcohol either. This blue-ringed octopus is extremely toxic by itself, combined with alcohol. Even Jesus could not save you. He snorted coldly, and stubbornly held the octopus and liquor. Is that necessary to curse me like that? Lying to me saying it is toxic. I will eat it right now to show you. He shoved the octopus into his mouth without hesitation, then gulped down a mouthful of liquor. See, I am fine. You still dare to lie. In an instant he collapsed to the ground convulsing. Everyone was immediately terrified. They all threw what they were holding onto the ground. The next second, an ant suddenly rushed out of the crowd, and frantically rushed to him, stuffing a pill into his mouth. He forgot to take his medicine again when he went out. He only behaves after an episode. His complexion slowly recovered, and he climbed up from the ground. Who said this fish is toxic? This octopus is incredibly delicious. I told you it could not be toxic. I will take it home to go with drinks for my husband. I did not try to persuade them anymore. The collision earlier made me dizzy, and I lost consciousness without realizing it. My mission was complete. What happens next depends on John. John lost both parents, and relied on his uncle to make it to 18. But 3 years ago, his uncle crashed while driving through this village. The entire truck of goods was looted, and his uncle became a vegetable. After so many years the chance finally came. It was worth staying among these villains for so long. During the 2 years I served as deputy village chief, I kept repairing roads and installing streetlights, with surveillance cameras on every streetlight, all to collect evidence, to bring you criminals to justice. John watched the villagers looting goods on the monitors, recording their greedy faces. Out of humanitarian concern, he issued a broadcast warning, asking villagers to obey the law, and stop looting goods, requesting villagers who took goods not to use them, and return them immediately to the owner. Such routine warnings he had been doing for over a year, but it was completely useless. The villagers were blinded by greed, and never listened to him. Aunt Sun held a basket full of goods, humming as she returned home. Looking at the tightly shut door, she instinctively shouted, "Old man, open the door." The inside fell silent for a moment. No one answered. Where did that man die off to? Wasn't he just guiding a truck? Why isn't he back yet? Did he go gambling at someone else's place again? Aunt Sun pushed open the door herself, happily dumping the octopuses into the water tank. These high-end goods, eat half, sell half. The money earned could build a small villa. The village was remote. Seafood was rarely seen, let alone octopus. That night Aunt Sun cooked and slaughtered 2 octopuses, but after killing them, she noticed her finger was cut, with faint bruising and bleeding. Aunt Sun did not care, only praising how fierce the octopuses were, and even put her finger in her mouth, then walked to the pot, and threw all the octopuses into stew, watching the octopuses rolling in the pot. This stuff is so expensive. I need to let my grandson eat more tonight. Kids are growing. They need nourishment. When dinner was served, Aunt Sun's son looked at the table full of stewed octopus, and eagerly took a bite. The next second, his brows suddenly furrowed. Mom, what fish did you use? It is so delicious. How would I know? Another truck overturned today. These are all your dad's spoils. Is it good? Aunt Sun's son went to college, majoring in zoology. He walked to the water tank in the kitchen and took a look, instantly shocked. This is blue-ringed octopus. I did not expect you could handle this. What is so complicated? I just killed it, and threw it straight into the pot. Hearing this, Aunt Sun's son collapsed in fear. Mom, if this octopus is not handled properly, it is extremely toxic. Take me to the hospital now. If we are late it will kill me. Aunt Sun did not expect it to be this serious. She rushed out immediately, planning to find a car to take her son to the city. Nick, are you home? My son ate that fish and got poisoned. Quickly drive us to the city. Aunt Sun rushed inside, only to see on Nick's dining table a plump octopus clearly displayed. That fish you mentioned wouldn't be this one, would it? Only then did Aunt Sun notice. Nick was pale. Even his lips were swollen from poison. It's over, it's over. It is this fish. Did the whole village eat this poisonous fish? Call 911.
Our entire village accidentally ate blue-ringed octopus. We might all be poisoned. Please come and save us quickly.
911 would not arrive that fast, because in order to loot the cargo truck completely, they had already scattered gravel and branches along the road, slowing down police and 911 from reaching the village, and now the nails ended up piercing them. That really was karma. My son, you absolutely cannot let anything happen to you, otherwise how could I go on living? Aunt Sun's crying echoed through the whole village, but because her family was usually so overbearing, no one was willing to help. That night the village stayed awake all night, filled with the sounds of vomiting and screaming. More than a dozen police cars and ambulances arrived, and when I woke up, it was already the next morning.
You only suffered minor injuries, but the elderly man sitting in the passenger seat was unfortunate. He had massive intracranial bleeding, and severe crush fractures in both legs. He was brought in too late, and lost vital signs on the way here.
Hearing this I couldn't help but laugh out loud.
The situation for the other villagers is even worse. No one knows where they got the octopus from. After eating it, those with mild symptoms became disoriented, and had full body convulsions. Severe cases suffered multi-organ failure, and were admitted to the ICU. A few even died on the spot. This is the most severe food poisoning case I have seen in my professional career.
Right now all major departments are conducting a critical investigation into this incident. Soon, various reporters and media caught the scent of a headline and showed up at the village one after another, pointing their cameras at the village officials. Now, they needed to quickly find someone to destroy the evidence of the truck rollover, and also deal with the paparazzi. What should we do? The village chief racked his brain but couldn't come up with a plan. Just then, a raging fire suddenly broke out in the village. No one knew who set it. The villagers were already weak, and with the fire on top, countless were injured. Heaven and earth, which angel big sister finally helped me vent this anger, daring to burn the octopus together with the liquor. Even Satan couldn't have thought of this. I couldn't help but laugh. Suddenly the hospital door was pushed open. A police officer walked up to me.
Hello, we need to take a statement from you.
Go ahead and ask. I will fully cooperate with you.
According to our investigation, you were not supposed to take this road. Why did you suddenly change your route at the time of the incident? Was it intentional?
The man in the passenger seat said the highway was closed, and told me this way would be faster. Also asked me to give him a ride home. By the way, did you find my phone? I like recording my life. So after he got in the car, I turned on the phone's video recording. The whole incident is recorded there.
We have already found your phone. The casing is slightly damaged and some water got in. Our technical team is working on recovering the data inside.
That's good. I must not be wronged, and let them escape.
We will conduct a thorough investigation of this matter, and we will not let any suspect go unpunished.
Did you find that man's phone? Only then did I remember that he had been fiddling with his phone the whole ride, as if tipping someone off. I was hauling a truck full of deadly blue-ringed octopuses. A crash was deliberately staged in this village. 10 years ago, my dad died right here. The villagers scattered nails to cause the crash. They looted all of his cargo. No one ever paid the price. Now they are trying to steal my octopuses again. I warned them the octopuses were highly venomous, but they did not believe me. That night, more than a dozen police cars and ambulances arrived. The entire village was filled with screams and chaos. But it was not over, because the police discovered this was never an accident.
Our people just called. On the old man's phone, they found after the accident messages he didn't have time to delete. The messages included him telling others your license plate, what time your car would pass through the village, instructing others where to put nails on the road. So this was not an accident. It was a deliberate crash. The tech department is now working on the old man's phone data, doing a full recovery. There will probably be more evidence.
The next second, the officer's phone rang.
Through technical recovery, we learned this was not the old man's first crime. The old man was not only part of a gang operation, but had committed multiple crimes. The number of truck drivers killed by them is countless. The number of suspects involved is huge.
To my surprise, this turned out to be a long-planned group crime. I figured they must have already gathered a lot of evidence, so I pretended to be scared and asked, "So do I have to take responsibility for the old man's death?"
As long as it can be confirmed that the old man was the mastermind of the crash, you are innocent. You could even sue him for intentional murder. But now many villagers were poisoned by the octopuses. As the transporter, you bear some responsibility for improper supervision. This part of the responsibility still needs to be gradually assigned. The compensation amount could be enormous.
I warned them several times not to take it, but they insisted on taking it to eat. Just my bad luck. People in remote places are often unreasonable. That saying is absolutely true.
You were unconscious, yet you still remember trying to stop it.
Before I lost consciousness, I warned them more than once. They absolutely must not eat it. This kind of octopus is extremely toxic if handled improperly, but they refused to listen. I remember there were surveillance cameras at the scene. They should be able to prove I am telling the truth.
We have already pulled up last night's footage, but the cameras have no audio. We can only see the villagers looting the octopuses and drinking. They threw away your phone and prevented you from calling the police.
The officer let out a helpless sigh. He couldn't get any useful leads from me, so he had no choice but to leave for now. But before I could even rest, the villagers who heard I had woken up rushed straight to my hospital room, violently pounding on the door.
You murderer. I will make you pay for my husband's death. My son ate the octopus from your truck. Now his organs are shutting down. You owe my son a kidney. Do not think hiding in there will save you. I know you're inside.
Listening to all this, I let out a soft laugh. Go ahead and curse me. The bigger stuff is still coming. As the investigation dug deeper, the villagers' deliberate actions causing crashes, and their yearly looting of goods. This village and its people, every single one of them, has been labeled a pest, and they will ultimately face the law. As public opinion swelled, more truck drivers involved in crashes, and the victims' families, stepped forward, seeking justice.
These villagers treat human life like dirt. To seize the cargo by force, they deliberately scattered nails on the road, causing my son's truck to overturn. He died on the spot. These people treat life as a joke, feasting on the blood of the victims. They are parasites on society. I will sue them, and make sure they rot in prison.
This is the latest update from a war zone reporter. Due to the large number of victims, the villagers will be formally prosecuted. After the case was filed, many villagers tried to flee the village. All of them were arrested according to the law, and taken into police custody.
It has been 10 days since the incident. All the villagers have been taken into custody, except for one person. That is John, the village deputy. He is reportedly an outsider, and has never been involved in these cases. Every time something happened, he recorded their crimes through security cameras. He is considered a whistleblower. I looked at the news on my phone. A smile couldn't help but spread across my face. But just when I thought I was cleared of suspicion. The police came for me again. This time, they took me straight to the interrogation room at the station.
Someone saw you meeting with several victims' families. We have reason to suspect this case was jointly planned by you. The questions I am about to ask, you must answer truthfully. First, do you know John?
I know him. I am friends with another victim's family member. When we went together, Mr. John happened to be there too.
You are lying. Our investigation found several years ago your father also died in a car accident. He also died in this village. So I boldly suspect this crash of yours was not an accident, but a revenge plot planned by several people. The octopuses and the alcohol were your weapons. Do you know what kind of act this is?
Trying to break me down emotionally. Nice try. You also said it was just a guess. Officer, if you don't have evidence to support your claim, based on what you just said, I could sue you for defamation.
How do you know I have no evidence?
If you had real proof, I would not be sitting here right now. I always knew everything leaves a trail. So what face I should make, how I should respond. I have played it over in my head countless times, making sure there were no cracks at all.
Right now, all the evidence favors you. It all proves this case has nothing to do with you. It was the old man staging it himself and getting himself killed, but the replaced car window glass, and the impact-resistant vest you wore in advance. Half a year ago, the village suddenly installed surveillance cameras. When so many coincidences come together, that means it was done on purpose.
Then go ahead and check. If you really find something, I will accept going to prison. All I know is after my dad died, my mom cried every single day. I had nightmares every night too, unable to sleep through the night. I developed severe depression. After that incident happened, the nightmares stopped. I could finally fall asleep. When I reach heaven one day, I will be able to face my dad. My conscience is clear.
Interrogating criminals. That is the judge's job, not yours. You will pay the price for everything you did.
Then why were they free for so many years? Officer, have you seen the ugly faces of those people? Have you heard cries that tear your heart apart? Do you understand the helpless feeling of watching your father die? They are dead. I thank the heavens for that. If you really uncover something, I have nothing to say. The officer frowned, lowered his head and said nothing in the end, then turned and left the interrogation room. I practiced for so many years, but when the interrogation actually came, my emotions still surged too strongly. I almost exposed myself. 2 months later, this wide-reaching case finally came to an end.
This court now announces the appellate judgment. After review by this court, the ruling of the court of first instance is affirmed. The defendant John in the death of son, and the case of villagers being poisoned, bears no direct responsibility. The facts are clear. During the appellate trial, witness Wong and 19 other truck drivers testified in court. They provided dashcam footage and physical evidence such as cargo loss records, confirming that the defendants long-term at the village entrance road, placed spikes and sharp objects, dug traps, and looted cargo from overturned vehicles. Their actions constitute the serious crime of group robbery, the serious crime of endangering public safety, and the serious crime of intentional murder. With evidence that is sufficient and conclusive, the principal offender Zhang and others are sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. Sun and 13 others are sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. The remaining defendants are sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. This judgment is final, and takes effect immediately. If you disagree with this judgment, you may within 10 days from the day after receipt of the judgment, through this court, or directly file an appeal with the Supreme Court. During the appeal period, the judgment remains in force.
The moment we heard the verdict, John and I finally felt calm.
I have already resigned from my position as Deputy Village Chief. I am getting ready to work somewhere else. What do you plan to do next? Will you still drive a cargo truck? If you take that route again, you can finally feel at ease. No one will block the road and steal anymore.
Of course I will keep driving. I want to see this village route clearly, to see if there are still hidden crimes, and let future driver brothers know. Justice lives in people's hearts. Even in dark corners, there will be moments of sunlight. All the evil of the village was pulled out by the roots. But just like I said, some people in this city move in the dark, trying to disrupt the city, trying to cover everyone in darkness. But I am willing to be the light of this city, lighting up every dark corner of this city.